Hello learners and viewers, welcome to our Senior Secondary Environmental Science course of NIOS. I am Neelam Gupta, course coordinator of Environmental Science. Welcome you all this program of NIOS. Dear learners, by now you have a fair idea about origin of Earth and its environment, and we have also learned that early humans depended on nature to meet their all requirements, to be it food, shelter or protection. So, gradually as human evolved culturally, their needs kept increasing. To meet this growing need coupled with increasing population and changing lifestyle, human altered or modified the natural ecosystem greatly for their optimum or utilization. After all, this is limited space on earth. We know we cannot create space, and this space has to provide for the unlimited demands of a growing population. So, how else could they meet the demands? Reason, we modified natural ecosystems greatly to suit their own need. Reason is why we modify: increasing population, changing lifestyle and ever increasing need, and lastly greed for more. So, during this program you will learn about different types of modified ecosystem, human modified ecosystem and their impact on natural environment. We shall also list a few suggestions to minimize human impact on ecosystem. So, let us move. Natural ecosystem converted, modified for industrial purpose, for urban settlement and for cultivated land. So, now what we discussed during this program in the form of objectives. So, overall changes in the environment due to rapid growth of human population and industrialization in India, various types of human modified ecosystems and formation of agro ecosystem and its impact on natural environment, and impact of human practices like plantation of forest, effect of construction of dam and diversion of rivers on ecological balance, merits and demerits of aquaculture, urban ecosystem and their environmental consequences, and lastly methods to minimize human impact on ecosystem. So, we will start human modified ecosystem. So, human modified ecosystem, it may be or may not be depend upon solar energy, because we fulfill our need through fossil fuels, energy that provides electricity that provides energy to the industry. So, examples of different types of human modified ecosystem is agro ecosystem, plantation forest, urban ecosystem, rural ecosystem, agriculture, industrial areas and lab culture of organisms. So, we will discuss these types of ecosystem during this program. So, what are the characteristics when we talk about any system or anything? First, we talk about what is system and what are the characteristics of that system. So, human modified ecosystem are highly simplified, species diversity is very low, food chains are simple and small, depends on human support for survival, need for fossil fuel energy, fertilizers, irrigations, and it also attracts number of weeds, more susceptible to epidemic diseases. It suffers from soil erosion and it is a highly unstable ecosystem. So, when we talk about impact, if increasing human population and industrialization on environment in India in the form of pollution, global warming, human health and disease, as well as over exploitation of natural resources, deforestation, effect of water bodies. So, next we will talk about impact of highly increasing human population and industrialization on environment in India. So, when we talk about human population, when number increasing, our needs are increased. So, we do exploit our natural environment, and when we exploit, there are several impacts. One is pollution. When we use science and technology, that has contributed immensely towards the development of mankind, but its misuse has caused environmental pollution. When we talk about pollution, what is pollution? Addition of any substance in the environment that has direct or indirect adverse effect on human and other living beings. So, consequences of pollution are many. Industrial accidents take away several innocent lives. We have example Bhopal gas tragedy in 1984. Leakage of what is this? Leakage of methyl isocyanate gas from Union Carbide company killed more than 2,000 people within 12 to 72 hours. Many more are alive, but still suffering from serious medical complications. So, rapid increase in human population means increasing demand for natural resource is also increasing. So, this flow chart show is a visual explanation of how human population growth ultimately impacts the environment. First, rapid increase in human population, starting point is population growth. As more people inhabit the planet, their needs multiply. Second, increasing demand for natural resources. With more people, demand for essential like food, water, energy and raw material rises sharply. So, industrialization to meet this demand, to satisfy our needs, society expand industries, factories manufacturing and infrastructure leading to large scale of production. When we talk about industrialization, we initiate manufacture and industries, it creates job opportunities, which is a positive outcome for economic development. When more industries means more goods and services are produced, fueling consumer market. So, second impact on human population is global warming. When we use when we use fossil fuel in large scale. So, the increasing use of fossil fuel is a leading cause of increasing level of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and this atmospheric buildup of greenhouse gases caused heating of earth, that is leading to global warming. And effects of global warming is melting glaciers and rise in sea level, causing threat to low-lying coastal areas, especially in thickly populated coastal cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and Kerala, state of Kerala, some reason. Greenhouse effect. When we talk about greenhouse effect, so solar radiations move to the passes through the atmosphere. Incoming solar radiations, about half of the radiations is absorbed by the earth's surface. Absorption radiation, some of solar radiation is reflected by the atmosphere and the earth's surface, and some outgoing radiations, infrared radiation like passes through the atmosphere and out of the into the space, going infrared radiations. So, some of the infrared radiation is absorbed and emitted by the greenhouse gas molecules, and radiation is converted to heat energy, that causing the emission of large long wave radiation back to the atmosphere. Next is human health and diseases. Increasing population means we increase pollution and overcrowding, that impact. So, an increase in the population is leading to the increased incidence of the epidemic diseases such as AIDS, hepatitis, TB, bird flu, swine flu, syphilis, gonorrhea, cancer and many more diseases. And these diseases are caused by environmental pollution or overcrowding, over exploitation of the natural resources. Rapid growing population results is over exploitation of resources. So, over exploitation and introduction of a new genetically modified species reduces the productivity of natural ecosystem, but it fulfill our food food for everyone. So, when we take an example, so when you introduce genetically modified crop or yield, it is a very high yielding variety or non-native species in any ecosystem, natural ecosystem, reduces the population of native species. When we talk about over harvesting of edible fishes, reduces their reproductive rate and their population starts reducing in number and may become completely extinct after some time, because we do over exploitation in fishing. Next is deforestation. Everything, every impact is in and around our population. Rapid growth of population leads to deforestation, intensive cultivation, over irrigation and over grading. So, deforestation, overgrazing, intensive cultivation in the loss of top soil fertility and of the land and prolonged degradation, being increasingly abused. They are being used for disposal of some, usually only one type of crop is grown on the entire field, attract weeds and susceptible to plant diseases for their survival. Sorry. Economic importance of agroecosystem. They fulfill native biodiversity, including genetic diversity of crop plants. In western Brazil, Kilonia, as in pesticides and chemicals in large scale, that leads to like barren land, private land, village panchayat, and forests have trees of approximately same age. Plantation forests are highly. Now we talked about economic importance of plantation. Next type of human modified ecosystem, that is urban ecosystem. At present, more than 45% world population of urban, increasing amount of energy, food and other commodities, facilities, medical facilities and health care. When we talk about disadvantage, urban area consumes 70. Human modified ecosystem are rural ecosystem, related works and they consume locally available resources. Outing if you living in city, just where aquaculture is rearing of or coastal or island pond, lake, reservoir or rice field. And look at the figure. This is a map of India. River system, canal, pond, lake, aquaculture by many farmers, and these fish can grow aquatic biodiversity as it is replaced by monoculture 2 years of time. Another human modified water diversion is to protect construction uses. They release water from dam. When we release water from dams, industries usually the primary raw material using pollutant like into the atmosphere. It can be gaseous pollutant. Next is land use and habitat destruction. Nervous system is also increasing problems. So,